There's a secret weapon the top 1% of daters use that you've never been taught. It's not about looks, money, or even what you say. It's about something far more primal, deeply wired into human psychology. Watch closely, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal how a simple psychological principle can make you magnetically attractive to anyone you desire. This technique has been studied in Harvard labs, used by master negotiators, and weaponized by those who understand human nature at its deepest level. The best part, once you see it, you'll notice it everywhere, and you'll never look at attraction the same way again. It's called the chameleon effect, and it's the reason you feel instantly comfortable with some people and inexplicably uneasy with others. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When someone subtly mirrors your body language, gestures, and speech patterns, your brain releases oxytocin, the trust hormone. Your subconscious mind interprets this mirroring as, this person is like me, therefore safe, therefore attractive. Studies at Stanford University found that people who were mirrored rated their conversation partners as more likable and trustworthy, even when they had no conscious awareness of being mirrored. This isn't some new age nonsense. This is hardwired survival programming from our evolutionary past. The tribe members who moved like us were our allies. Those who didn't were potential threats. Let me show you exactly how this works in real dating scenarios. Imagine you're on a first date, and your date leans forward with interest. 3 to 5 seconds later, you unconsciously lean forward too. They cross their legs, you adjust your posture similarly. They take a sip of wine. Moments later, your hand reaches for your glass. This dance happens completely below conscious awareness, but it's the difference between chemistry and awkwardness. Researchers at New York University discovered that skilled mirroring can increase rapport by up to 67% within the first 10 minutes of interaction. But here's the secret the top 1% know. It's not about copying every move like a mime. It's about creating a subtle rhythm, a dance of connection. The vocal component is even more powerful than physical mirroring. When you subtly match someone's speaking pace, tone, and energy level, you create what psychologists call linguistic synchrony. If they speak slowly and thoughtfully, and you respond with rapid-fire energy, there's a disconnect that triggers subconscious alarm bells. Conversely, when you match their rhythm, their brain recognizes you as one of them. FBI negotiators use this technique to build trust with hostage takers within minutes. Top salespeople use it to close deals worth millions. And the most charismatic daters, they've mastered it without even realizing they're doing it. The key is authenticity. Forced mirroring feels creepy, but natural synchronization feels like magic. Now here's where it gets fascinating and slightly dangerous. Mirroring doesn't just create attraction, it reveals everything about someone's inner world. Pay attention to the person who never mirrors you back, who maintains rigid, closed body language when you're open and expressive. This is your first silent red flag. According to research from the University of California, people with deep-seated insecurities often resist mirroring because it requires vulnerability and trust. They've built walls so high that even their body language refuses to let anyone in. When someone consistently fails to match your energy, your openness, or your engagement, they're telling you without words, I'm not available, I'm not interested, or I'm too afraid to connect. Listen to that message. Red flag number 2 is even more subtle. The person who mirrors you excessively, almost performatively. There's a difference between natural synchrony and calculated mimicry. When someone is over-mirroring, matching every gesture with unsettling precision, they're often masking their true self behind a carefully constructed persona. This is the hallmark of someone deeply insecure about their authentic identity. Psychology research from Columbia University shows that people with unstable self-concepts often become chameleons in relationships, losing themselves entirely to please others. In the early stages, this might feel like incredible chemistry, but over time, you'll realize you're dating a mirror, not a person. You'll ask yourself, who are they really? And find there's no solid answer. Red flag number 3 is the mismatched emotional mirroring. You share something vulnerable, something that matters to you, and instead of matching your emotional depth, they respond with superficial platitudes or complete emotional disconnect. This reveals someone who lacks emotional intelligence, or worse, lacks empathy. Studies in neuroscience have shown that true emotional connection requires affect matching, where both people can tune into each other's emotional frequency. When someone consistently fails to mirror your emotional state, when they're laughing at your pain or distant during your joy, your nervous system recognizes the danger, even if your conscious mind makes excuses. Trust that primal instinct. It's trying to protect you from future heartbreak. So how do you use this knowledge ethically and powerfully? First, become aware of your own mirroring patterns. Are you naturally open and synchronizing, or are you the one with walls up? Self-awareness is the foundation of all relationship success. Second, practice subtle mirroring with intention. In your next conversation, wait 3 to 5 seconds after someone shifts their posture, then naturally adjust yours. Match their speaking pace and energy without becoming a parrot. Notice how the quality of connection deepens almost immediately. Third, use mirroring as a diagnostic tool. Pay attention to who mirrors you back naturally. These are people capable of genuine connection. Notice who resists or overperforms. These are your red flags waving frantically. The neuroscience behind why this works is absolutely mind-blowing. When someone mirrors you, specialized neurons, called mirror neurons, fire in your brain. These are the same neurons that allow you to feel empathy, understand others' intentions, and create social bonds. Brain scans show that when mirroring occurs, the same regions light up in both people's brains simultaneously. You're literally creating synchronized brain activity with another person. This is why great conversations feel effortless, why time disappears with the right person, why some connections feel electric while others feel like work. You're not imagining the chemistry. Your brains are actually syncing up at a neurological level. Here's the elegant secret that separates masters from amateurs. The best mirroring is emotional, not just physical. Anyone can copy a posture, but can you match someone's values, their worldview, their deeper aspirations? This is what creates lasting attraction beyond the first date. When you truly listen and reflect back someone's core desires and fears, when you show them you understand not just their words but their inner world, you become unforgettable. This requires presence, curiosity, and genuine interest. You cannot fake this level of connection, but when it's real, it creates bonds that transcend typical attraction. This is how the top 1% create relationships that others envy, connections that feel once in a lifetime. The dark side of this knowledge is manipulation, and you need to know how to protect yourself. Skilled manipulators, narcissists, and con artists are master mirrors. They've learned to reflect back exactly what you want to see, creating an illusion of perfect compatibility. The difference between genuine mirroring and manipulation is consistency over time. A manipulator's mask eventually slips. The mirroring becomes inconsistent or stops entirely once they've secured your attachment. Trust is built through consistent behavior, not just initial chemistry. If someone seems too perfect, too in sync, too much like your soulmate within days of meeting, slow down. Real connection builds gradually. Instant intensity is often a red flag for something darker beneath the surface. Let's talk about the ultimate power move. Being so secure in yourself that you don't need to mirror or be mirrored. This is the paradox at the heart of attraction psychology. The more you understand these techniques, the less you should need them. When you're genuinely confident, when you know your worth, when you're comfortable in your own skin, people naturally mirror you because your energy is magnetic. You become the pace setter, the one others unconsciously synchronize with. This is true charisma. Master the technique, understand the psychology, but then let it become so natural that you forget you're doing it. This is when you transcend manipulation and enter the realm of authentic, irresistible attraction. Here's your challenge moving forward. In every interaction this week, become a student of human behavior. Watch how people mirror each other at restaurants, in meetings, on dates. Notice who's in sync and who's disconnected. Practice subtle mirroring with friends, colleagues, and new connections. But most importantly, pay attention to who naturally mirrors you back without trying. These are your people, your tribe, your potential partners who are capable of real intimacy. The chameleon effect isn't about changing yourself for others. It's about finding those rare individuals with whom synchronization happens effortlessly. That's not manipulation, that's recognition. That's not a trick, that's truth. And that, ultimately, is the deepest secret of attraction. Becoming someone worth mirroring and choosing someone whose reflection makes you want to become even better.